future. If a government cannot invest in people's future, is a government that do not deserve to be there. We are looking at development investment according to the budget 2023, 2024, 2025, whereby the budget, out of the 4.2 trillion budget, only 17.5% of that budget is going to development, meaning that your future is so unimportant to this government, but what is important is their stomach now. That's why they cannot even pay pending bills, they cannot invest in education, they cannot invest in healthcare, they have frozen unemployment. In fact, how can a government that invests in education knowing that more than 500, if not 400, students finish university every year and want to get a job, and you freeze employment for 1 year? The next year they'll tell you again, we have frozen employment for 1 year. If you are a young person in this country with no job, you are reaching 40 years without having a job, when will you work? I'm Professor Ogola. I want to take this chance to talk to you about what should worry you next week as members of parliament. As you know them always, will be so disappointing and overwhelming to pass the finance bill. First and foremost, there are three things that we require from a government. One, we require a government that be able to provide livelihoods. Livelihoods are the basic necessities. Can people eat? Can people afford their livelihoods? The second thing, comfort. Can you travel in this country in good roads? Is there security? Are you able to see a doctor when you want them? Can you get government services like passports, IDs, and the rest? Can you do a land transaction within a reasonable amount of time? Those are to do with comfort. The last one is future. If a government cannot invest in people's future, is a government that do not deserve to be there. We are looking at development investment according to the budget 2023, 2024, 2025, whereby the budget, out of the 4.2 trillion budget, only 17.5% of that budget is going to development, meaning that your future is so unimportant to this government, but what is important is their stomach now. That's why they cannot even pay pending bills, they cannot invest in education, they cannot invest in healthcare, they have frozen unemployment. In fact, how can a government that invests in education knowing that more than 500, if not 400, students finish university every year and want to get a job, and you freeze employment for 1 year? The next year they'll tell you again, we have frozen employment for 1 year. If you are a young person in this country with no job, you are reaching 40 years without having a job, when will you work? When they tell you the greatest resource you have is your youth. Youth cannot get a job, but all the people who are less qualified have jobs. So according to me, the finance bill should have addressed what I call improved livelihoods. 2, they could have addressed what I call the comfort for Kenyans. And 3, they should actually address what I call development, or if you like, investment in Kenyan future. But the opposite is the case. There are 3 things, there are around 4 or 5 things to worry about. First, there is a lot of the finance bill talking about the issue of e-citizen, where you're paying money. That is the president's dashboard, where he controls all the money with it. According to me, the fees being charged, passports have moved from 6,000 to 10,000. ID used to be 300. Now IDs are 700 if you want to apply for an ID. Government services are becoming more expensive and unavailable, yet taxes are being deducted. So according to me, the e-citizen thing, the government services thing must be addressed urgently. But the finance bill is not addressing it, is only looking for how to put Kenyans on all digital payment and charge them. The second thing to worry about is the vehicle circulation tax, which is going to ensure that the rich people, according to William Ruto, he's taxing from the rich and giving to the poor. And it's impossible. The rich eats from the poor. The best way to kill an animal is to kill what it eats. And because it is killing the rich and the middle class, actually they are killing the poor in the end, because the poor will have nothing to earn from, because the poor earns by working for the rich person. So for that matter, the finance bill about the vehicle circulation tax will increase the cost of transport. Anytime you increase the cost of transport, it's like increasing the cost of fuel. It will affect the cost of doing business. It will affect trade. It will increase the cost of all movable commodities. And for that matter, it will start making goods more expensive. And when goods become more expensive, they become more inaccessible. It will lead to loss of businesses. No employment will be created under this high taxation of vehicle circulation tax. And according to me, it's a misnomer. The economic philosophy for the president of trying to tax the rich, the middle class to feed the poor, is a wrong economic model and therefore should be rejected. If someone is taking you to a town using a wrong map, chances are you are not getting there. The other thing to talk about is the issue of VAT on rent, VAT on milk, VAT on bread. Those VATs that have been introduced in the financial bill, even the ones on digital products and the rest, digital content creation, the president is saying that he's helping the hustler. Actually, he's not helping him. Look at even the border border. He says that if you own a motorcycle which is 130,000 shillings and above, you are going to pay more levy. All those things, the president is looking for how to take money from everybody, then keep the money for himself. Because I told you, this is the president who will collect the most amount of money, who will borrow the most amount of money, but will offer the least services and invest least on development. Such a person can only be called mean. Moi used to do all things, but Moi ensured money was in circulation. We are asking the president, money must circulate. I do not know any citizen I do not know any country where we have poor citizens and the country is rich. So show me a rich citizen and I'll show you a rich nation. And the opposite is also the case. Mr. President, you can never become rich, build a rich country like Kenya when you are the only one with the money. You must be able to give everybody else money so that that money comes to you. Money must circulate. By you only keeping money is like what they call salt lakes, lakes that cannot breathe. Freshwater lakes must give and take, give and take. Can you give Kenyans to take? You are milking a cow which you cannot build. We have a government who has created so many people who are tax collectors. All these heads of parastatals, their work is to collect money from Kenyans. But they do not know how to create any other new avenues of making money. So if Kenyans will going for election any time from now, can you elect an economist who understands what are the other sources of generating income rather than only one person who thinks about tax and debt, tax and debt. And tax and debt is not a good economic philosophy. There are so many other ways to create wealth for a country, and I ask the president, please listen to experts. Kenyans are qualified and they know the solutions. You don't have to look for anybody outside the country if you know that Kenyans know what they know. Thank you.